Hello students, let's do a couple of momentum and impulse practice problems. So the first problem was about a school bus, and so we'll list that the mass of the school bus was 7,500 kilograms, and the school bus was moving on the highway at a speed of 28 meters per second, and we want to find out what the momentum equals. And remember, P is the abbreviation that we use for momentum. It's kind of wacky, but because it's so wacky, it seems like it's easier to remember. The equation that we use for momentum is mass times velocity, so P equals mv. And so we'll just fill in all the information for this. The mass was 7,500 kilograms, and the velocity was 28 meters per second. And you can see that we simply just have to multiply these together, and we have 210,000. And the units, they're kind of wacky. They're kilogram times meters per second. We could actually simplify this a little bit. Another way of writing this would be 210,000 Newton seconds, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later on. The second problem, number 2, was about impulse. It said that there was a force of 1,500 newtons that was applied over a time period of 10 seconds. And we want to find out what the impulse is. And again, a little bit wacky, but we've got this thing of impulse, which is abbreviated with J. Remember, an impulse is a change in momentum, and we can also find impulse by taking the force and multiplying it by the time interval. So our impulse for this one, we just simply have to multiply. We've got our 1,500 newtons, and we'll multiply that by our 10 seconds. No calculator needed for this one. We've got 150,000. 15,000, not 150,000. Maybe I do need a calculator. So 15,000, and you can see the units here will be Newton seconds. And notice up here, we said that momentum, we could also write in Newton seconds. Well, momentum and impulse, they actually share the same unit. So we could also write this as 15,000 kilogram meters per second. So we've got our two equations. We've got our momentum equation here, we've got our impulse equation over here, and we've got our two answers that we can write with a choice of units. You're going to find that I typically use kilogram meters per second, but it's not wrong if you use Newton times second. We'll do a little bit more with these types of problems a little bit later on, and I will see you in class.